What it do, crew? My name is Ver and welcome back to the channel. I wasn't planning on posting a video today, but being that it is New Year's Eve, I thought I'd reflect on this past year. Since I do talk about a lot of things on my channel, such as personal finance, investing, and a lot of life lessons and mistakes that I've made in my life so you don't have to go through those experiences, I want to talk about the first video that I posted on YouTube at the beginning of this year. That was about setting goals. So it was about a year ago when I posted my first video on YouTube titled How to Set Goals in 2020. My goals for 2020, 52 videos on YouTube. That is such a mouthful. I was so motivated to start a YouTube channel that I just did that and I said I was going to post one video a week for 52 weeks in 1 year because that's what it comes out to. And I met that a couple videos ago. That first video got just about 600 views, and to me that just means that there are about 600 people that happen to just watch my video one day. Anyways, I posted that video and I wanted to stay consistent throughout this whole year, and I happened to do so despite what happened. So this is going to be my last video of the year, and I know my last video said that that was going to be the last one, but I do want to check back on my first video. I did set some goals in that video and I wanted to see where I'm at just a year later if I met those goals. So in that video, I did set a couple points to evaluate my goals, and here is what they were. I said that you should choose a goal with a deadline and define a timeline to achieve it. My thought process on this was if you have a deadline of when you want to meet a goal, that will motivate you more to achieve that goal, maybe doing it earlier, but then on the contrary, you might even procrastinate. Next point was you should have a goal that has a reason behind it because you should have a reason why you are pursuing that goal. Next point is to write down your goals. I watched a pretty recent video. It came out the same time as my last video by Grant Navarre. He's a great YouTube friend of mine that I met through the Graham Stephan mentorship group. His video is about setting goals, and he talked about how the top 3 to 1% of people write down their goals and evaluate them each and every day. When me and Janelle first moved out to LA, that was one of the things that I did. We moved out here, starting a new life, coming from where we came from in Texas, and I wrote down the goals that I wanted to do in that first year. And that is what I've been doing each and every year since then. And the last point is whenever you're setting a goal, you should always evaluate where you were, where you're at, and where you will be relative to that goal. That is because life isn't the same. Life is not static. Life is totally dynamic, and whenever you're pursuing your goals, you might be pursuing a bunch of goals, and those can change over time. So you should always check on where you're at. There are many frameworks that can go around setting goals, and that was what I was saying a year ago. More recently, I made a video about setting SMART goals, whether they're specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, or time-bound. Basically, you could check out that video in the link below. So anyways, let's go through the goals that I set a year ago based on these points and see if we achieved them. So I remember in that video, I made a couple categories of goals that I wanted to do. I think it was financial goals, personal goals, and goals to set on YouTube. The first category was some financial goals. So I did go to college, I did take out student loans, so I do have some student debt, and one of my goals was to pay off my student loans. Granted, it's only a few thousand left, but it didn't start there. When I left college in 2014, it was almost about $20,000 to $25,000. I will tell you this, I did not completely pay off my student loans this year just because of the CARES Act. Basically, that act wiped out interest rates, payments, so a lot of loans were deferred for federally backed student loans, and that's what I have. So I decided to only just pay the minimum of what I was doing before that even happened. The great thing is just because there's no interest rates, any money that I do pay towards these loans go directly to the principal. Another goal that I wanted to meet was getting a pay raise at work. So I set this at the beginning of the year, and performance season is also at the beginning of the year. I actually happened to get a pay bump from my original salary just last year. The nice thing is it was a pretty significant bump compared to the average 3%. It was about 7%, which I can't argue against, so I guess I met that goal. And the last goal for the financial category was purchasing a rental property. I didn't achieve that goal. I've been saving a lot of money. I've been indoors really, so I haven't been going out looking for deals. The next category was YouTube goals. So one of the first ones was getting 52 videos in a year on YouTube. If you calculate 365 days, if you divide it by 7 days a week, that comes out to about 52 weeks in a year. My idea was just posting one video a week. Every Friday I started off, and then I changed it to every Wednesday. The nice thing is I was pretty consistent with it. There were some weeks that I missed, and then there were some weeks that I posted multiple videos. So I kind of caught that trend of one video a week. And I think on my channel right now, there's just under 60 videos. The crazy thing is I think I would be at 60 videos now, but when I re-signed into my YouTube channel at the beginning of this year, I actually deleted a couple videos just from like decades ago, well, not decades ago, but like over a decade ago when I was in high school, I used to sing like guitar covers. If you remember back in like the early 2010s, there were a lot of YouTubers or like, you know, YouTube musicians that would post their covers, and they were really cool. So I tried to do that too, and there were a couple videos on there, but I took them down. The sad thing is like I wish I could still see them, because I kind of think that would be cool to look back on. The next goal was getting on the Graham Stephan show. So real quick, if you don't remember, me and my fiance were featured on CNBC Make It's Millennial Money segment on their YouTube channel, which then Graham Stephan, he's a famous finance YouTuber, he reacted to it. And then since we're based in LA, he was like, I want to confront you and Janelle at your home about millennial mortgage. That was a pretty fun experience. He's a great guy. I met him, and then I subsequently ended up getting into his mentorship, which is really cool. You should check that out. I can link that down in the description. But basically, going through that experience was really cool because I got to meet one of the people that I look up to on YouTube. I've learned so much from him about Roth IRAs, retirement accounts, investing, and real estate investing, just because, you know, I always smash the like button. The last goal of the YouTube category was getting to 1,000 subscribers. I didn't quite get there. I'm maybe like under 30 away, but that is okay because since I'm so close, I think I'll be able to reach it in the next year, and that's totally fine with me. I didn't reach it in this year, but if you haven't already done so and you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel and maybe I'll reach it before midnight. And the last category was personal goals. My first goal in there was actually marrying Janelle. So me and Janelle have been engaged for I think almost 3 years now. I asked her to be my wife in 2017 on July 21st, and that was really cool. We got to go up to Tahoe, be with friends, and her family was there too. We actually didn't get married. We were supposed to get married in May, but then obviously the illness happened, so then we had to postpone, and we just haven't gotten around to it. We're already married, just not on paper. So we've been living together for almost 6 years now, but we'll get to that eventually, maybe in 2021. Another goal was to build an AWS app. So I actually didn't build a personal AWS app, but I do work in AWS almost every day in my full-time job. The nice thing is since it is with a big corporation, there are some benefits to that, but there is some inflexibility to do things that, you know, I would want to mess around with. And sometimes that could be good or bad because, you know, the design is made by those senior level architects that make it really great. So I don't have a personal app, but I have been working with AWS for the last year. I did get that certification before the end of last year, so that was really cool. This next goal was actually pretty funny because I wanted to get my body weight or my body fat percentage down to 15%. I will tell you this, I did not meet that goal, but I will say I did lose a good chunk of weight during this year just because I haven't gone to the gym. That's really bad to say, but basically when I started this year, I was around 200 pounds or 205 pounds. It was probably because of the holiday in 2019. I went to the Philippines, I ate a lot of food, it was great. But then when I came back, I lost maybe like 5 pounds. And then just over this year, since I haven't been lifting weights as much as I did the year before, I lost almost 15 pounds. So I'm around 190, 185 on good days. I didn't reach that goal, so maybe that'll be a goal in the next year.
Hey everybody, first ride. Kind of nervous, but excited. Let's do this.
So I think the title is pretty self-explanatory.
I also really wanted to visit the Philippines. I try to do that as often as I can. So the last time I did that was last year on my mom's birthday. I didn't get to see my grandma on her 90th birthday, but everyone, you know, wished her a happy birthday on that video, so thank you so much. Same with my mom, her birthday was this year and I didn't get to see her, and I didn't get to go during the holidays. And going to the Philippines during the holidays is probably the best time to go just because it's a little bit cooler and they have like festivals and parties all over their place. Like it's ridiculous. And then my last goal in this personal category was reading 1 book a month for a total of 12 books in the year. I unfortunately fell short on that one as well because I only read 6 this year. I got to my 6 actually pretty early on in the year. I think it was at 3 months, and then I got really busy all of a sudden. Like I picked up 2 part-time jobs. I wanted to focus on some of my YouTube videos, and I felt really just occupied with a lot of things. So reading a book just didn't happen to, you know, just happen. I got a HBO Max subscription, had that in the background, or when I'd want to unwind, I wouldn't read a book, I would just watch a TV show or a movie, which by the way, there was a lot of TV shows this year, like Too Hot to Handle, Tiger King, Love is Blind. I watched like all of Star Wars Clone Wars. We killed The Mandalorian Season 2 recently, and we even watched The OC back from, the 2000s, if you remember that. That's no excuse, but this next year I do want to continue reading because that is really cool. Maybe I'll start listening to audiobooks just because I can maybe multitask that way, but I didn't meet that goal either. So if you look back at these goals, that was pretty cool. I mean, it kind of met my framework of having a timeline because I wanted to do it within a year. They had a reason why I wanted to do them because, it would make my life a little bit better. It was for other people, like visiting family. And I did write them down. I posted them on YouTube. They're in the description of that original video. And I talked about them to the world to see, or at least to anyone who watched. So it's like I did write them down and I did check on them each and every day. Some of them I was like, look, I can't do this goal, but I did meet that goal, or I want to work on this goal versus that goal. Like, this YouTube thing has been really fun. All in all, 2020 has been a crazy year. It was super busy for me, for us, for everyone else who's been impacted by the illness. There have been people who have been able to surpass their goals this year. Like, I have met so many people here just on YouTube, just in, this year remotely. It's pretty crazy. Like, someone who randomly saw me on Millennial Mortgage happened to reach out to me on Instagram. We had a video, if you happen to remember Brandon Wong's video, me and him talked about a couple things. He works for the Academy. That's super cool. I also got to chat with Todd Baldwin from Millennial Millionaire. It's been a crazy year, and like, there are so many people who have reached out on YouTube, and we've become friends just through this platform, and it would be really great to meet these people in person one day, when it is safe to do so. Anyways, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't already done so, please obliterate the like button, the subscribe button, get me to that 1,000 by midnight, if this video even posts by then, because I still got to edit it, and also the notification bell so you know the next time I post a video in the new year. You can find me on Instagram, DM me there, ask me questions there, follow me there. I always post stuff on there, so we do have fun. There's links in the description below. The one I do want to point out is Millennial Investments. There's a Linktree link in the description below that's going to be launching just in a day. Like, it's going to launch tomorrow. We're going to have really cool things going out there, so check that out. I haven't commuted since March to work, so the commuter experience has not been a thing, but I do want to say at the end of every video, I always say, let's get to work, because anytime that you go through one of my videos, I wish, or I hope, that every one of you learns something from my videos. And taking that, you get to work. And that is kind of what the commuter experience is, or at least that is what I want the commuter experience to be. It's not just sitting in 1 hour bumper to bumper traffic. It's just going out each and every day and getting to work. So with that, let's get to work.
Bye.